God bless you, and thank you so much for connecting and chiming in for these few moments, sharing with my lovely wife, Lady Stephanie, as we share concerning what God has done, what God is doing, and what he's about to do for the Citadel of Deliverance, Church of God in Christ, right here in the wonderful city of Memphis, Tennessee. I cannot believe that we are in the last month of 2020.
Yes.
And certainly all of us can say that this has been a most challenging season as we have weathered these storms, coming through this pandemic. We've seen much loss, we've seen much pain, we've seen much grief, but in spite of it all, we can testify that it is because of the Lord's mercies that we're not consumed. His compassions, they fail not, but they are new every morning.
Every morning.
And so we exclaim, great is thy faithfulness, O God, unto me. And God is in control, and we indeed believe that all shall be well.
Yes.
And you know, as we go through this year, we cannot help but think about what 2021 will mean for the Citadel of Deliverance. In case you all didn't know it, 2021 will mark 20 years of existence of the Citadel of Deliverance. That's right, in 2001.
Yes.
It was the time that God had led my wife and I. We were fresh out of college, newlyweds, went behind the ears, and we felt compelled and led of God to establish and plant this ministry. And here we are getting ready to go into 2021, celebrating 20 years. What do you think about that?
Oh, my mind is blown of the faithfulness of God. He's just carried us through from year one all the way to this point. And I am confident that God will see us all the way through. He has not failed us yet, and I know he's not going to start doing it. I am just so excited about the future and what God has for all of us.
Absolutely. The key word First Lady used right then was faithful.
Yes.
God has been faithful to us.
Faithful.
In 2001, we started as I guess you could say a Bible study group. We were praying together with just a small handful of people.
That's right.
Many of you that may know Mother Patricia Bell, we would go to her home and host prayer meetings on Saturdays. And then we would go to the Holiday Inn on Mount Moriah. There we would host Bible studies and gathering. It was just a handful of us, really a handful. It was just a hand. Maybe 4 or 5 people who were connecting with us. My sister LaShawn Dillard Berry and her children. And of course, we didn't have any children. And so it was just a faithful few gathered together. And then on the first Sunday in 2001, in July, we hosted the first service. We were at the Pickering Community Center there in Germantown, Tennessee. And my goodness, we were just excited and overjoyed by all that God had allowed us to accomplish at that point. And all we had was a word from God, a vision, and knowing that God had called us to do this great work in the city of Memphis, the greater Memphis area. And of course, we fellowshiped there for a number of years, and then we were going really between Holiday Inn and the Pickering Community Center, and we had to set up and break down between every service or for every service.
Carry the instruments in our trucks and the back of our trunks.
Absolutely. In other words, what she's saying is all of the sound equipment, the instruments, and all of those things. Every service, we had to set it up and break it down. And so instead of just bringing it in our homes or what have you, trying to store, we just let it stay in the trunks of our cars. And we did that for a number of years. And then the Lord blessed us as we located the property there on Shelby Drive at 7749 Shelby Drive East. You know, that is a major thoroughfare now. But when we first located that property, it was a 2-lane, really rural highway. And you couldn't even see the property off the road. As a matter of fact, there was a tree line that was blocking the view of the property. And you had to go on somebody else's property on the other side.
To cut through.
You remember what kind of driveway it was?
It was a gravel driveway.
A gravel driveway that you had to drive up this hill,
Yes.
and there was an old overgrown land, an old house.
A
There
barn.
were two barns.
Oh, two. That's
Two
right.
barns that were sitting on that property. And somehow God did not allow me to see how dilapidated and how overgrown and so much trash. I didn't see that. But what I did see eventually was the vision of a house of God being built on that property.
That's right.
And the few people that we had at that time, we brought them up there, and I'm just a young preacher in my maybe mid to late 20s at
Right.
the time, just, full of fire, full of faith, and full of vigor and vision, and believing we can do this. And I remember bringing the people up there, and they was like,
Okay.
yeah, that's exactly. You're going to build a church here. How are we going to have a church? Because this old house is here. Trees, dog houses, trash, old bricks. I mean, you name it, it was on that property.
That's right.
But it was 4 acres,
Yes.
and it was on Shelby Drive. And we had no clue
Not at all.
that one day Shelby Drive would be one of the major thoroughfares in the state of Tennessee. I remember driving out on Summer and coming across this old building that was used at one of the school systems as a classroom.
Right.
Portable, they called it portable buildings. And when I drove past there again, I didn't see just how it just was a portable building. I saw a sanctuary.
Right.
It was 2 classrooms, and we had the middle wall knocked out, put some restrooms in there, and I think we would have been able to seat at that time a little over 100 people.
Yeah, more
And
than
God
100.
filled that little place up.
Yes, He did.
But here's the thing, there were a lot of people around the city that was familiar with what we were doing and trying to do, and some people were praying for us, and
Right.
people were sending words of encouragement and
Right.
sowing into us.
Right.
But then there were those who were laughing at us, saying, look at them in that trailer. What does Dillard them think he's going crazy
That's what they said.
there on that hill? And there were times that people would come in town for some of the national meetings, and they would get in their cars and come on Shelby Drive and say, look at Elder Dillard and look at what he's trying to do, and people will actually laugh at us. But somehow, again, God just calls us to be able to look past all of those challenges,
Yeah.
financial challenges,
Yes.
even the ostracism, or
yeah.
even persons not really believing in us, but we kept on pressing.
Right.
Kept on going.
Yes.
And in 2011, the Lord blessed us to break ground
Yes.
on the worship facility that we have there now. And you remember those days, I was the construction manager on that project.
Yes,
and I
you
mean,
was.
it was a crazy experience, but God brought us through. And in 2011, 10 years ago,
10 years ago.
God bless us to walk into that beautiful sanctuary dedicated unto the Lord.
Yes.
And now hundreds and yea, even thousands of people
Yes.
have been blessed by the ministry of the Citadel of Deliverance.
Yes.
There are a number of ministries in the life of the church.
That's right.
The impact of the ministry now is not only felt in this region, but across the nation.
That's right.
And parts of the world, doing great things for God, building community, building families.
Yes.
And I'm just excited that I cannot believe that we're already at the point of 20 years come 2021.
My God.
When you think about that song that said, through many dangers,
Yes.
toils and snares, we've already come. It was grace that brought us safe thus far, and to be that same grace that will lead us on. And we believe that.
That's right.
Because we have seen the hand of God work for us. We have seen how God has saved many lives,
Yes.
saved families,
Yes.
have ministered to needs,
Yes.
and is yet bringing hope even during this pandemic.
That's right.
And we want to celebrate all of the members, but down through the years
Yes.
of how you have sown,
Yes.
how you have given, how you have labored,
That's right.
how you have prayed, how
right.
you have stood with us.
That's right. Sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Your time, your resources, your influence.
Absolutely. You just continue
Yes.
to avail yourself and catch hold of the vision. And because of that, we've been able to do great things for our great God. And not only those who are members of the Citadel of Deliverance, but so many supporters
Yes.
from around the nation
Yes.
have sown into the ministry. I was going through some old documents and files the other day, and I think it was around 2007 when we actually launched a capital campaign.
Yes, we did.
For the new worship facility that we were building,
right,
that eventually came into fruition in 2011. I came across a letter,
wow,
that the presiding Bishop Charles Blake had written to my wife and I in the Citadel of Deliverance. And at that time, I was just an elder. I don't even think I was youth president or anything.
Or superintendent.
As superintendent, but we were just a young congregation, maybe been 5 or 6 years old at the time.
Yeah.
And Bishop Blake took the time out at that time and sowed a $500 seed,
yes, he did,
into the ministry after reading and hearing about the vision that we had. But then 4 or 5 years later, we built that edifice, and God again blessed and expanded it, sitting on 4 acres.
Right.
A beautiful, beautiful testimony and monument of faith. But guess what? God is not through with us.
No, he's not.
I said again, God is not through with us. The church has continued to grow, continue to expand, and we sit in amazement to see what God has done. A couple of years ago, as we began to look at where we are and look at the things that God was calling us to, and the capacity that we needed to be able to hold and to be able to manage and move forward with the agenda and the vision of God, there was unsettling in our spirit that says we cannot stay in this spot, at this place. Though we've seen the miraculous hand of God, ways have been made, there's been a great outpour of God's Spirit, and much has taken place at 7749 Shelby Drive East, but yet we knew that we needed to expand. Yes, to accommodate the worship services, to accommodate parking, more space for recreational activities for our young people and community, more office space for administrative functions, and also for community servicing and programming. We were trying to do all of that in space where we are. But God began to lead us, and there came available a building just a little over a mile away from where we are right now.
That's right.
Because I believe when God calls you, he not only calls you, but he also calls you to a location, to a specific place. And so that community, we believe that God had called us to that area. And as God would have it, there was this beautiful edifice, over 50,000 square feet, that has a sanctuary that could accommodate all of the members and all of the community that would come to worship, with a family life center that has a gymnasium, that has a nursery and daycare center area, adequate office spaces, classrooms, commercial kitchen, sitting on about 11 acres of land. And the Lord said, "It's yours." And we began immediately, after praying and feeling that release in our spirit, sharing what we believe what God has said unto the nation of Israel. If the Lord delights in us, we are well able to accomplish it. We're well able to overcome whatever obstacles. And we set on a course a couple of years ago and began to negotiate, began to work, and began to pray that God will move and intervene and give us what we believe he had promised to us. And as God would have it, after years of laboring, years of negotiating, we've had some setbacks, we had some challenges, and there again, we had some people even say, "Oh, they can't get that. That'll never happen for them. They don't have this, they don't have that." But guess what? We had faith in God, and we had the support of the people of God.
That's right.
The Citadel of Deliverance, as we prepare to go into 2021, First Lady and I would like to be the first to announce to you, as we celebrate together, just a few days ago, we indeed closed on our new church at 4350 Hatch Cross Road in Memphis, Tennessee. We are moving. God has done it again for us.
Yes, he has.
He did it 10 years ago.
Yes, he did.
When we walked into that new sanctuary. And 10 years later after that, 20 years, we are walking not only into a new year, a new season, but a new space, a new place, to the glory and honor of God.
All him.
Look at what the Lord has done, has set us in this place 20 years ago, we never could imagine
Never.
this community would look as it is looking. But God, before the foundation of the world,
Thank you, Jesus.
He designed,
Hallelujah.
He set up the Citadel of Deliverance will be set in this community. That's right, we are moving.
We're moving.
We signed the dotted line, and we could not have done it without the support, without the sacrifice,
Right.
without the prayers
Right.
of the saints of the Citadel of Deliverance, some of the greatest people
The greatest
in the
people.
world. What you have to say about that, First Lady?
Oh my God, you all are the greatest people. We have the best church in the world. I don't know. It's God. It is all God, and I am so excited about it.
Absolutely. Can you not feel the excitement? Can you not feel the energy of what God is getting ready to do? If you thought that the last 20 years were powerful, were dynamic,
My Lord.
get ready for what God is going to do. And you're saying, Bishop, in a pandemic, absolutely.
My
Look at our amazing God that can bring
Oh,
things
God.
to pass
Hallelujah.
during a pandemic
Yes.
when it should not be. But we give God glory.
Yes.
We give God honor.
Yes.
We give God praise.
Thank you,
For
Jesus.
we believe that the best is yet to come. And not only, First Lady, is this the new house of the Citadel of Deliverance, but it is the jurisdictional headquarters
My
of the
God.
Tennessee Metropolitan Jurisdiction of the
Yes.
Church of God in Christ. We cannot wait to accommodate all of the people of the Lord that will
Yes.
worship with us.
Yes.
We cannot wait to minister in a greater way to our community.
That's right.
We cannot wait
We can't wait.
to educate our children and young people on this campus.
That's right.
We cannot wait,
Can't wait.
to see the miraculous hand of God at work
Yes.
through counseling
Yes.
and through other services, other programs and ministries that will be offered to the people of God.
My Lord.
And we have more than adequate space right there at
Yes.
4350 Hats Cross Road, Memphis, Tennessee. Well, friends, listen, thank you again so much for connecting and being a part of today's special announcement. That's right, Citadel of Deliverance is moving to our new home. God has done it. If the Lord delights in us, we're well able to overcome it. And look at what God again has done. Thank you to my Citadel family again. I can't thank you enough. Your faith and faithfulness, your giving, your prayers, your support has brought us to this season and point in the life of our ministry. and we believe that the best is yet to come. And I've got to give a shout out to my own family, my mother and father, Elder and Mother Dillard, Evangelist Barry, Tina, Sister Veronica. Thank you so much for your support and your connectivity through this season, and really all 20 years. You all have been right there. It makes a difference when your family is a part of what God is doing. And to all of our friends, supporters, those who have prayed for us, prophesied over us, who have sown into us, we celebrate you. But this is just the beginning, because we believe that God has greater and more for us in our future. Again, Citadel family, I cannot wait until we get through this season of pandemic, that we can all come together and we can continue doing what God has called for us to do. But until that time, we're still going to do ministry and do the work of the Lord through this pandemic. And God is going to bless us at some point where we again can collectively come together to worship, to serve, and to love on each other and love on our community. There are those who may be watching you saying, Bishop, I've just been encouraged. I'm so happy for you all, and I support what you're doing. As a matter of fact, I want to invite you and encourage you to sow into the ministry. As you can imagine, as we are preparing to go to our new location, there are a number of things that we want to do to put our personality and branding to it. And you want to connect with what God is doing and what he's going to do. I invite you to do that right now by sowing a seed, whatever God lays on your heart. You see the ways to give right there on the screen right now. And I speak increase, outpour, overflow, and great favor upon you and your life. And shout out to the East Wind Church. Thank you so much for your partnership and collaboration and working with us through this transition. And of course, in a few weeks, a month or so, we'll be prepared as you are transitioning to your location. We're ready now to step in and transition to what God has blessed us so to have in this season. People of God, thank you again for connecting. Let's continue to remain prayerful, remain faithful and hopeful, because God is up to something and you're right in the middle of it. And something good is getting ready to happen to you right now. Be blessed.